To the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. Our digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across the country including Victory FM in Aflao, Pad FM in Dalmongo, and Kekeli Radio in Ho. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, and Teleso 4G. Just a touch. In this edition, as the Electoral Commission and Eminent Advisory Committee prepares to meet political parties over controversy surrounding new voters register later this week, we'll get some clarity from the Commission if its decision is final.
To make our points clear.
Okay, so you're just seeking to inform.
Exactly.
That is a done deal.
Environment Technology Minister laments lack of prosecution of foreigners caught engaging in Galamsey as government prepares to deploy new methods to deal with the problem.
You know, the court system, that is very frustrating for us. I know they go to court and they are bailed. It's very frustrating, and I cannot influence the court system. Sometimes even the Attorney General finds it difficult.
Second Lady joins Joy News campaign against cervical cancer with a call on health authorities to make available more screening centers.
No woman should go through the pain and the suffering, and no woman should die from it. No family, no child should be motherless because of this. So it's very important that we deal with it.
More from Samira Baumia as Joy News campaign inspires more women around the country to get screened. Residents of Fanover Street and Kukumlimle, where the multimedia group has been operating from for 25 years, say they've been blessed by the presence of the company in their community.
Since Joy came, this place actually has been a very commercial area. So it's very good we have Joy here.
And in sports,
a remarkable turnaround after defeat in the opening two games of the season. Board member of Accra Hearts of Oak, Frank Nelson, will tell us how the Phobians have managed to save their season.
And later, as he breaks his silence on the controversy surrounding his decision to quit senior royal duties, Britain's Prince Harry reveals he had no option.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. And I know I haven't always got it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option.
That's all coming up here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Remember, we're also live on Facebook. Let's settle for the details now. And the Electoral Commission says its decision to compile a new voters register is final. The opposition NDC has kicked against the new compilation, citing time constraints and costs. Already, the party has rolled out a series of protests across Ghana to show up support against the Commission's move. But the governing NPP's support for the new register has left Ghanaians divided over the matter. We'll be hearing some reactions to this in a bit, but first, Joy News editor Fifi Kumsin looks back on the developments around the issue so far.
They've reached end of support. Now, a large number of them have broken down. We have 40 parts. So,
right from the word go, the position of the Electoral Commission has been one to compile a new voter register to replace the current one secured in 2011.
Paramount amongst them was the fact that even within the data center, all the equipment that we had there had reached end of service as well.
But that is not the only reason for the EC's decision. At a recent interaction with some civil society organizations, the Commission's IT experts raised issues of cost, security, and many more with the current register. For example, the vendor of the current data center has since 2012 received $4 million each year from the EC in management fees. The same software must be updated at a cost of $15 million or 85 million Ghana cedis before the December election. But all these costs aside, the EC does not own the source code of the software. The vendor does. The governing MPP believes compiling a new register is the way to go.
This time around, EC's own officers and technical people will be the managers of the system, and they will have full control of the database of this register. And I think it's important that we are concerned about that.
But the NDC is not convinced. With just 11 months to go to the polls, the main opposition party says the Commission does not have the time.
We are asking the Electoral Commission. This year, the population and household census is to be undertaken by the statistical service. Why would not allow the statistical service to finish with the population census so that we know the figures and the population statistics of the country before we even plan going ahead to do new registration?
The NDC has begun a series of protests across the country to express its displeasure at the situation.
We cannot struggle to build a democracy for 30 years only to allow one individual to just come and break everything apart.
And the party seems to be on the same page with 18 civil society organizations, all of whom believe there is simply no time. Imani Ghana's Kofi Bento led the pack.
We believe that the EC has not demonstrated that there is a defect with the biometric data, which was used as recently as 2 months ago on a nationwide scale to necessitate the spending of $70 million on mass registration.
The EC is known to be consulting its advisors on the matter, but while that consultation continues, the Commission is going ahead to compile a new register. Dr. Cervical Cancer is Director of Electoral Services at the EC.
So it's a decision. It's concluded.
That was in there.
Okay. I thought the eminent advisory panel that you set up
to engage them,
ask you to consult
to make our points clear.
Okay. So you're just seeking to inform.
Exactly.
That is a done deal.
Well, the EC director's comments have generated mixed reactions by the public. While some applaud the Commission's decision, others are strongly opposed. Listen to some listeners who called into the Super Morning Show today.
We need a new register because the old one is looted. We are having Ivorians, Malians, a lot of people, their names are in the register, they are not Ghanaians. So those people who are, crying that a new register shouldn't come, it should affect them.
Why do we need a new register? We have Electoral Commission office at the districts. They need to update the register. Moreover, they are talking about their machines. They should buy the components of the machine and take them. We must be very careful.
I think we need a new register, but I will say that if the political parties will not blame the Electoral Commission, if anything happened in the election, then the Electoral Commission should leave them so that we use the old register.
No. Frankly speaking, I'm an IT specialist too. How are we missing the two things? Data center and biometrics. I just don't get it.
I support VC because if they are going to use the old one, if the amount they repair the staff is too much, we should go for new. Every party must be vigilant. You can't use the old system.
You heard there some callers on the Super Morning Show, so we're scheduled to speak to the head of communications at the Electoral Commission, Madam Sylvia No. We're still trying to work the lines to reach her. As and when we do, we'll speak to her. But in a related development, the Ashanti Region Police Command has assured of adequate security measures for tomorrow's scheduled demonstration by the Inter-Party Resistance Against a New Voters Register. It comes as organizers served notice they will go ahead with the protest despite suggestions by the Electoral Commission. The chapter on the issue is closed. Here is Communications Officer for the NDC, Sami Jamefi, speaking ahead of tomorrow's demonstration.
We are fully prepared for the demonstration. We have told you that come rain or shine, the demonstration is coming off as scheduled on Tuesday, 6 a.m. No amount of intimidation, no amount of communist inferior taxes will deter anybody. And we have indicated through our General Secretary that we are prepared to honor the invitation of the EC to any IPAC meeting on any day and at any time to, express our opinions. We will go into that meeting with no entrenched position. We will go with an objective and a patriotic mind, discuss the issues dispassionately, and hope that at the end of the day, what is in the interest of Ghana and not the NDC, or the MPP, or Bosman Asare, or G Mensa shall prevail.
Well, the Ashanti Region Police CRO Godwin Ahianyo says adequate men will be deployed for the exercise. He, however, has a caution.
The police command will ensure that the routes agreed on for the event are secured and law and order maintained throughout the entire period. No act of lawlessness, that is burning of lorry ties, throwing of stones, harassment of bystanders and hawkers will be entertained during the demonstration. The police will ensure that acts that will undermine public peace and order, as well as flout the public order, will not be entertained. Drawn as many officers that will be able to make sure they police this event to make it a success. So I'm sure we are in our numbers and tomorrow we'll come out to perform our constitutional mandate.
Ashanti Region Police PRO Godwin Ahianyo. This is the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's head to the Northeast region now, because the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry is in Nalerigo following reports on increasing gunmen attacks in the area. 2 people, including the secretary of a chief, have been killed by unknown gunmen at separate locations in Nyonyo District and East Mamprusi Municipality within 2 weeks, sparking fears and anger among residents. The residents are demanding police protection against what they describe as increasing activities of unknown gunmen and robbery attacks across all the 6 districts in the region. Correspondent Eliasu Tanko has been visiting some of the affected areas in this report.
Tears of a family whose breadwinner was killed by unknown gunmen. His 7-year-old daughter, Abiba Armian, pleads for the police to arrest her father's killers. It was about 9 p.m. on Wednesday night, January 1st. As the people of Bintri ushered in a new year, 35-year-old Armia Nasigri, the secretary for the chief of the town, was shot and killed. Reports say a lone masked gunman arrived on a motorcycle and opened fire on him at a drinking spot. Hajia Rebecca Dingo is the late Armia Nasigri's 70-year-old mother who has had to bury her son. Based on this story, as reported to her, she believes owner of the drinking spot and other individuals present when her son was killed must be arrested immediately. Barely a week after Armia Nasigris was killed, 3 suspected armed robbers attacked a fuel station at Naswani near Junju. A gun battle ensued. A watchman was shot and killed, while the suspected robbers made away with an undisclosed amount of money. Police say they are investigating, but residents say they live in fear. Since 2017, robbery attacks and violent crimes have surged to what residents describe as unprecedented levels in all parts of the region. They attribute this to high unemployment, illegal mining and smuggling. As they turn to the police for solace, they feel the helplessness of the police in the region, which is woefully under-resourced.
Every day they said they will be doing investigation. We don't even know. Plus those people, the place that they shoot him, they came. When we asked them, the way they were even saying, it was not having any meaning.
If this continues, time is coming that even the law and order or the respect that we have for police, it is also what? Decreasing. So we want the police to do something.
Now, Eliasu Tanko joins us for an update on the situation following the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry's visit to the area. So, Eliasu, what has been the immediate response of the Minister to the demand from the residents?
Well, the Minister himself has not spoken yet. He's just coming from the residence or the palace of the Nairi, the overlord of the area. Earlier on, he entered into a meeting with the regional minister who is fully aware of this particular situation, and we believe that he briefed him on this particular situation. As we speak, the minister is currently addressing security chiefs in the area. He's currently speaking to the immigration service here. From here, he will go and speak to the police service and also the prison service here before he will make an official comment on this matter.
But in the meantime, though, we can hear from the overlord of Mamprusi, Bohaga, Mahami Shiriga.
The minister to make sure that he gets more police personnel posted to the region. Since it is a new region, we have challenges with security, and therefore he is appealing to the regional, the Minister for Interior, to make sure that we have adequate police personnel to ensure that we have peace. We continue to enjoy our peace that we have been enjoying all this while.
You heard the overlord of Mamprusi, Bohagu Mahami Shiriga. Now, the court system is frustrating the Galamsey fight. That's according to Minister for Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation, Professor Frimpong Boateng. This latest admission of a setback in prosecuting locals and foreigners engaged in the illegality comes despite passage of a law in August last year which prescribes a minimum of 15 and a maximum of 25-year prison terms for offenders. President Akufo-Addo, after assenting to the new law, accused the judiciary of not doing enough.
We've had to take away some of the discretion of the judges, largely because they're not cooperating on these matters. Yes, people are caught, flagrant acts, they're taken to court, granted bail. and then at the end of the day, they disappear. All these Chinese people who are caught, they're brought to court, they're granted bail. We don't hear of them again, only to hear that they have resurfaced in the country. So we felt it was important to take away the discretion in the judges. It's unfortunate that that should be so.
So that was in August last year. Well, the situation does not appear to have changed. We'll hear the latest from the Environment Minister shortly. But first, here's a report by my colleague Latif Idris from the Amansia Central District of the Ashanti region, where the menace appears to be back in full swing, destroying farm fields and water bodies.
In the Oda River Forest Reserve in the Amansia Central District of the Ashanti region, 7 hectares of the 16,000 hectares of forest reserve have been wiped out by Chinese illegal miners and their Ghanaian collaborators. Initial swoops by personnel from the Forestry Commission led to the arrest of 2 Chinese nationals who were detained at the Jacobo police station for 48 hours. The 2 have since been granted bail as investigations continue. Meanwhile, few meters away from the illegal mine site, which had been deserted at the time the minister and his team got there, sound of Chamfine machine could be heard operating on the Oda River, lacing it with toxic chemicals. But it appears powerful politicians are behind the illegality. In an interview at the heavily pillaged mine site, District Forest Manager for the Bekwai District, Ransford Chum Damwa said, quote, "We came here with all forces and they also had military protection," end quote. In all, 2 excavators were retrieved from the mine site with many other mining equipment and personal effects of the absconded illegal miners being set ablaze. President Akufo-Addo in August last year assented to new illegal mining law which pegs sentences for the illegal act to some 25 years. But it appears that is not deterrent enough.
Now, with the campaign against Galamsey appearing to be dying down, Lands Minister Kweku Asumatremi says fresh war is being launched this week against illegal mining and military men are being deployed to affected communities as a start.
As of now, we have no other alternative than to use them. You know, these miners, if you come here unarmed, you may be attacked. No civilian can easily approach them to tell them to stop unless our brothers in the military are here. Their uniform alone is enough scare to them.
So how soon should we expect this military deployment?
Just next week it will happen. There is one excavator in the in the open pit, and as soon as they saw us, they fled. It means that when we leave here, they will come back and work. So the action that we have to take here will have to be immediate.
Now, from the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, we can hear from Environment, Science and Technology Minister Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, who's been interacting with some selected journalists in Accra about the menace.
We have arrested about 15 Chinese and they are in the courts. You know, the court system, that is very frustrating for us. I know they go to court and they are bailed. I can imagine that some of them may even go to do what they know how to do best in Ghana, and then when it's date for court, they will go to court. So it's very frustrating, and I cannot influence the court system. Sometimes even the Attorney General finds it difficult because of the way we are. Since the new law came, I know that we have about 15 Chinese who are attending court, but none of them has been prosecuted or jailed so far.
You heard there the Environment, Science and Technology Minister. This is the Midday News. To take a quick break, but first our top stories. As the Electoral Commission and Eminent Advisory Committee prepares to meet political parties over controversy surrounding new voters registered later this week, we get to clarify from the Commission if its decision is final. And still to come, Second Lady joins Joy News campaign against cervical cancer with a call on health authorities to make available more screening centers.
No woman should go through the pain and the suffering, and no woman should die from it. No family, no child should be motherless because of this. So it's very important that we deal with it.
Also, residents of Fanofa Street in Kokomlemle, where the multimedia group has been operating from for the past 25 years, say they've been blessed by the presence of the company in their community.
Since Joy came, this place actually has been a very commercial area. So it's very good we have Joy here.
Because you see,
hello, Lieutenant Zina. Thank you for showing up at our monthly meeting. I have some good news for you today.
Yeah, but bundle electricity credit, no. Hey! Oh, relax. I am not increasing it. I just want you to know, from today, you have your own meter. So now you buy exactly what you want to use. Flexi bundling.
What's your customize, Anna?
Oh, yes. Just like that. And it doesn't expire too.
Life is good with MTN Flexi Bundle. Now you have full control to pick and choose your very own bundle packages. Whether you want to bundle 3 pesos, 20 pesos, 20 cities, 30 pesos, or even 115 cities, we dare for you. Just dial *138# or *170# to enter any amount. And bingo, you are good to go. So go ahead and enjoy bundles that don't expire. That's why we're good together. We dare for you everywhere you go.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation. Over the past 45 years, we've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time now for sports. Enhancement Sando has the very latest.
Now, defeat in the first 2 games of the season culminated in the sacking of Kim Grant, but the Phobians have staged a remarkable turnaround, winning 2 and drawing 1 of their last 3 games as they prepare to take on rivals Ashanti Kotoko on Sunday in the Super Clash. Frank Nelson is a board member of Accra Hearts of Oak.
Well, you saw the introduction of some players in our team. We make sure that we listen to the voice of the supporters, the management, the board, everybody say, look, there's a lot of issues in our players, so let's listen to the supporters. The supporters were coming out with some discussions and coming out suggestions. The technical department, I will applaud our coach, Odom, because he's done very well. There's 1 or 2 fingers he pointed that today has seen the turnaround of Accra Sufo. The few players that we introduced, we saw people like Emmanuel Nete, we saw Nuruddin, we saw Boche, in the midfield. Everybody can say that our midfield is not something we can walk over because we can say we are playing a tight midfield. Having said that, does not mean that it is 100%. It's all about football. So they need to keep lifting up their game as we play on.
And we're getting ready for Sunday.
Absolutely. As Accra Hearts of Oak versus Kumasi Asante Kotoko, you know what they call it, Super Clash later on Sunday. And the build-up begins later at 1:10 here on Joy 99.7 FM on Sports Track with yours truly.
Thank you very much, Hansman Sando. Now, Samira Baumia has called on health authorities in the country to make available more screening centers for cervical cancer. Her call comes in the wake of Joy News' campaign against the deadly cancer, which kills over 1,500 women every year in Ghana. Following our latest documentary, Cervix in Crisis, my colleague Seth Kwame Boateng says many people have endorsed the campaign, the latest being the wife of the Vice President, Samira Baumia.
Every disease matters, but especially a disease that is preventable, affects women, it affects reproductive health. We have to look at the socioeconomic effects of the impact of this disease in the country. First of all, no woman should go through the pain and the suffering, and no woman should die from it. No family, no child should be motherless because of this. So it's very important that we deal with it.
Even though it's already killing them, some still believe it's not a medical condition. They still attribute it to spiritual and other things.
Well, that's the sad reality for us in Ghana, with a lot of ailments, diseases being attributed to spiritual origins or whatever. But I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. We need to educate our women. I always say, when you know better, you do better.
Second Lady Samira Baumia there. Last week, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital revealed that more women are reporting to get screened after Joy News launched the campaign. We're getting similar reports from especially the Kolebu and Komfanochi Teaching Hospitals. At the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, for example, Senior Nursing Officer at the Reproductive Health Unit, Abigail Gamo, says they have recorded about 50% increase since the cervical cancer documentary was aired.
The video that was aired too has made a great impact because a lot of people watched and they were like, they never knew there was something called cervical cancer. So we've had a lot of people coming in to make inquiries and actually to do the pap smear. Because, as it says, when cervical cancer starts, you'll be like fine. You wouldn't see any sign or symptom. And then by the time they present to the hospital, the cancer has already spread to other organs that nothing can be done about it. When the video was aired, I think it made a great impact because a lot of people watched like nationwide and people called to find out, make inquiries about the pap smear.
Tell us about.
Now, at the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital, obstetric gynecologist Dr. Elizabeth Esi-Krensil says they've started saving the lives of some women who are coming in for screening, and the campaign is still on. Join News Channel this evening at 8:30 p.m. You'll get the opportunity to watch the concluding part of Cervix in Crisis documentary. Do make a date. Now, residents of East Legon, Mimpasem, are appealing to city authorities to halt the continuous air pollution in the community. Some persons there use an unoccupied land as their dump site. The community people are calling for the intervention of city authorities as they say they have no choice but to breathe the plum of smoke from the burning of the waste, which is done directly under electricity pylons. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
I've lived here for about 30 years.
I am at the Sewa Koto Villa at Mempasem, a beautiful compound with swimming pools and a lot of greenery. George Boateng, a businessman, lives here. His building shares wall with other plus structures, but some meters away is what many of his co-residents consider a blot on the image of their community, a damp site.
I had gathered some evidence and I was going to actually take the matter up in court because it was not a situation that I could bear it any longer. Just imagine living in an environment that is polluted 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
He's calling for the intervention of city authorities.
It's a totally lawless country. Everybody does what they want. I think that it has to be halted immediately.
Other residents of Mempasem share similar concerns.
When we are in the house, it causes us to cough a lot. When you dry things and when you go move the things will be key, like they will be smelling.
But we have to look at if it could be relocated.
Aside from the health implications of burning the waste, the caretakers of the dam site do so directly under electricity pylons. A man we met said he charges 1 Ghana cedi. The monies, he says, does not go to the municipal assembly. Shani Mutala is the environmental officer at the Yaso West Municipal Assembly.
I learned they even burn ties, and the tie too is very poisonous. We cannot be everywhere, and we are thanking MiddayNews too very well for the good work that you are doing. Within the next 2 weeks, that issue should be resolved, I assure you.
And we are grateful for your partnership. And that's the story also for residents of Fanofa Street in Kokomlimle. They say they've been touched in a special way by the presence of the multimedia group in the community. The company started off here with just one station, Joy FM, in 1995. 25 years on, the company boasts of multiple radio and TV channels and online media, driving many businesses to the area. But how exactly have residents benefited from the presence of the multimedia group in their community? That's what Sarah Josu went out to discuss.
Sharing a community with big or small businesses comes with so many advantages to community dwellers. In the case of Fanofa Street in Kokomlemle, residents say the presence of the multimedia group in their community gives them a unique community identity and countless business opportunities. Banks, eateries, and many other businesses have sprung up, bringing prosperity to many. One resident who has been around for long is Duke Saba Taylor.
It was a very quiet area, but since Joy came, this place actually has been a very commercial area. So it's very good we have Joy here.
Hassana is the operator of a convenience store, which is popularly referred to as the Kokomlemle Mall.
Multimedia has been here for so long, and we started as tabletop sellers before putting up this shop. Their presence here in this area is our only source of livelihood.
Lami is a food vendor on the Fanofa stretch who set up a business to solely cater to the workers of the multimedia group.
And that's the story of residents of Fanofa Street where we operate. And what's trending on social media? We know that Prince Harry has broken his silence.
Yes, finally, what they call Megxit. Prince Harry has finally spoken about it, and we can hear that.
Or perhaps read over the past few weeks. So I want you to hear the truth from me, as much as I can share, not as a prince or a duke, but as Harry. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always got it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away.
All right, so that's Prince Harry breaking his silence, and people are also talking about the new voters register on our Facebook page on Joy 99.7. You can go check out those comments.
And we're checking out a fall from Grace later, also my pizza. And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. 25 years of pioneering partnership for development. We are indeed grateful. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Dr. Mensel Tabil has living word.